Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Vicky, and this is Sacred Journeys Ireland Meditations. So, today's theme is on tending to the tender emotions. So, there's a lot going on in the collective right now, but regardless, if you're a human being and you're living your life, there's just always going to be challenges in life, and sometimes we just need that extra support. And no matter how good you've done and how much we've healed and how great your life looks on the outside. Sometimes life can just feel a little bit too difficult, and we need that additional support to move through the emotions that are coming up. And I wanted to use this time to look after the emotions that are very tender. And a lot of those emotions I find are usually hidden in our shadow aspect. So the shadow in Carl Jung describes the shadow best, he refers to the shadow as the unconscious aspects of our personality, which our conscious ego doesn't identify with. So usually these are very emotions that are unprocessed, emotions that we tend to feel are not acceptable or are even negative parts of ourselves. Um, and they often relate to impulses and triggers. So we know that our shadow is being activated when we're very triggered. When someone says something or does something and we almost go offline. So the prefrontal lobe kind of shuts down and the back of the brain kind of comes into action. So this is the fight or flight stimulant, and we're in survival mode when this happens. So the emotions or the parts of our personality that maybe we've repressed or suppressed, they don't go anywhere. They live in what's called our shadow. And even though we might not be conscious of them, they're still playing out. And often we can these moments where we feel triggered are moments where we can shine a bit of light or consciousness on these aspects of self or unprocessed parts of our personality or ego, so that we can heal them. It's also, when we do act out because we've been triggered, sometimes the emotions that come up might feel so big that we can't hold them on our own. So instead, we'll do something impulsive just to be able to cope in the moment. We might pick up where we left off in a bad habit or a coping mechanism that's not what we want to be doing. It's not necessarily healthy or who we are now. Sometimes we have an idea of, this version of ourselves. Maybe we're working towards being authentic and we have an idea of what a healed version of ourselves looks like. And it can be really disheartening when we go back to old ways of coping. And like examples can be even addictive behaviors, or it doesn't have to be a full-blown addiction, but it could be overeating or binge drinking or spending too much money in shopping. It could be the classics, and it could also have a very different pattern or behavior for you. Um, and when it happens, it's important to kind of welcome in a lot of compassion for yourself, because at the end of the day, we are human beings and we're all doing our very, very best. And if we wait until we're perfect or that we're with this imagined healed version of ourselves, we'll be waiting for the rest of our lives. So it's important to have these practices where we can come together and receive all this support that's always available to us. And that being Mother Earth's unconditional love and also the divine, as well as our own inner wisdom, our own spirit team, guardian angels. There's so much support always available. So we're going to be doing a little bit of both in this session. We're going to be welcoming those tender emotions that maybe we're not even conscious of. And even though mostly we tend to think that the ones that are in our shadow are the parts of us that we don't like, so they must be negative. And sometimes they can be actually what a lot of people would deem positive traits or aspects of self, but maybe they were never safe for us to hold. Maybe we grew up in a household where joy wasn't really something that was celebrated or allowed. Um, it was too vulnerable to feel joy, for example. There's even play. People don't feel safe enough to play. So there's lots of things that we deem really fun and important and desirable in our society, but we might not allow ourselves to feel because they might not feel safe. So bring curiosity to this. And this is also a great meditation that we can return to in moments where we're triggered. When we feel safe enough to sit in meditation, we can tend to these emotions that have been brought to the surface, either before we act impulsively, before we go down the road of picking up that bad habit or that coping mechanism that just makes us feel like shit, just makes us feel worse. Because, and even if we come to this meditation after the fact, it will still support us in the future and our future actions because we can bring in all that compassion for ourselves. So, yeah, just let's just bring some curiosity, see what's in the shadow. We'll offer some healing to it and increase our capacity to welcome a little bit more compassion for the self. So, for whenever you're ready, I invite you to close your eyes and just get comfortable for this meditation. However that looks for you, that could be sitting down or that could be lying down. And before we begin, we're just going to take 3 breaths just to bring us into a meditative state. So let's take a deep breath in through our nose, filling the belly and out through the mouth. Another deep breath in. One more deep breath in. And even sigh it out through the mouth. And just allow your breath to return to normal. So for this meditation, we're going to create a sacred container to bring us together in community, to keep us safe and protected, and also allow us to remain unenmeshed or remain individualized. So let's imagine that in front of you there's a big bubble, and this bubble has its own grounding cord, so it's connected to the earth, and it has its own universal cord, so it's connected to the cosmos. And we can imagine all these beautiful resources and energies pouring in from the universe and the earth, filling our container, resourcing us. We're just going to imagine that we step into this bubble. And as you step into the bubble, you're going to welcome in your spirit guides, your guardian angels, and you're also going to place your inner wisdom in charge of this session. So place your intuition in charge of this session. Remembering that our intuition, our inner wisdom is the part of us that can see the bigger picture. So however we're feeling this moment, we want the part of us that is connected to source, the part of us that knows the blueprint of our destiny, that knows the next steps for us, that part of us can be in charge. We're going to set the intention that this is a safe space to be curious and to explore, to learn more about ourselves, and we can go at our own pace. We're going to set the intention that any challenging or difficult emotions like fear or anger, grief, they're all welcome. Resistance is welcome, and they're going to be held and healed and released back into the earth. We're going to set the intention that unprocessed emotions, traits, or aspects of the personality that are unconscious and living in the shadow, that are ready to be illuminated, to receive healing, and to be reintegrated back so we can receive and feel a sense of wholeness. We ask that that happens today. We're going to set the intention to increase our capacity for self-compassion so that we not only have compassion to be human for ourselves, doing our very, very best, but we can even celebrate being human and everything that that means. even when it feels really hard and challenging, that we can still feel grateful and lucky to have this experience, remembering that this too shall pass. We're also going to welcome in any downloads, insights, spiritual gifts, blessings, and miracles. We're going to welcome in wisdom from our higher self to support us in taking our next step. So that we can take our next step in our life that is conscious, that is loving awareness, that is full of compassion and hope. And we're just going to welcome in more gratitude. So opening again our capacity, giving ourselves permission to feel gratitude, even in the dark times, even in the times where it feels challenging, that we can find gratitude. So there's a lot of angelic support coming in. So I'm going to be quiet for a moment, and in your own mind, if there's a prayer or intention that you have in your heart, in your own mind, just imagine that you speak it into the container. You bring it into the bubble. And as you do so, all of your spirit guides and your guardian angels are waiting right by your side, waiting for you to ask for help so they can swoop in and offer assistance. So as you speak out in your own mind, what's on your heart, make sure to ask for your angels' help to intervene. And as we speak in our intentions, we're just going to release any fears that are attached. Imagine that you hand over all of the fear, all of the anxiety and worry. Just imagine that you're placing it in the bubble so that your angels can take it. So we're going to welcome in Archangel Michael, Archangel Michael, Archangel Michael, and we're going to ask him to place us in a golden bubble of protection, setting the intention that no negativity or harm can enter, only positive light. Now you can bring your awareness to your personal aura, your energy field that surrounds your body. So we're going to ground ourselves. So let's imagine that a beautiful grounding cord from the core of the earth flows up through the soil, all the way to attach to the bottom of your feet, the bottom of your aura, and just give yourself full permission to be held by the earth. We're going to welcome in universal energy from above us, from the top of our head. Imagine this beautiful golden light pouring in from the cosmos, and to attach to the top of your crown, the top of your aura. Imagine that beautiful light starts to pour into your body and around the body. And just like the sun, it's going to burn away any energy that doesn't belong to you. We're going to place a magnet in front of you and a magnet behind you. And just imagine that these magnets get to draw out any inauthentic energies, anything that might be stuck or stagnant in your aura. Just setting the intention to release inauthentic energies. We're going to recall our authentic energies now. So using a symbol that represents your authentic energy. So that could be maybe a star or it could be any shape or symbol. And place it in front of your aura. We're going to ask our guides and our guardian angels to help us recall our authentic energies from all dimensions of space and time back into that symbol. Imagining that we call home fragments of our soul, fragments of our identity. And our guides are going to bless, heal, and update our energies to who we are now, empowering them and then beaming them in from the bottom of your feet all the way up to the top of your head. So we've set the intention to bring in support for those very tender emotions, even the ones that we're not consciously aware of, the ones that come up when we're triggered. So again, we're going to use our curiosity and just place your intuition in charge. The conscious mind can rest here. And we're just going to allow our intuition to bring us to where in the body there is an unprocessed emotion or an emotion that feels too challenging to hold on your own. An emotion that maybe we have repressed for many years or even lifetimes, generations. Just notice where you're brought to in the body. Maybe you feel tightness in the chest. Maybe you feel kind of some anxiety in the belly or like pain in the shoulders, at the back of the neck. Just follow the cues of sensation or knowing and bring your awareness to this space. And there's usually going to be a lot of resistance that comes up, a lot of guarding or tension around this area. It's almost saying, don't touch it, don't look at this, look away. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to say to this part, thank you so much for working this hard to try and keep me safe and protect me. But I'm ready now. I have the support and I have the skills and I'm ready to grow and move beyond this now. And it's safe for me to hold this because I'm not holding it on my own. And just notice if some of that guarding or tension has kind of melted a little bit. Now we're going to go back to that place and just notice maybe there's still a little bit of guarding, a little bit of resistance. And this time, as we go back, we're just going to bring our awareness to the support that we have. Remembering that we have our own spirit team, our own spirit guides, we've guardian angels by our side, even if we can't see them, they're there. We have the love and support of the earth, the divine, and we have our intuition that's always guiding us, never ever will let us down. So just bringing your awareness to any resistance that's still there and just letting it know that we're grateful, just saying thank you so much. Thank you for keeping me safe for this long and trying to protect me, but I'm ready to grow. I'm ready to move beyond this now. And I have so much support, so much resource available. And just allow any other residue of that resistance to just melt back into the earth. So we're going to bring our awareness to what was underneath that resistance. There's likely an emotion or maybe layers of emotions. So just kind of notice what's the dominant emotion that you sense or feel there. And just trust your gut, trust your intuition. We're going to welcome up all this beautiful earth energy to hold this emotion. So you don't have to hold it on your own. Allow the earth to hold it with you. And however much is ready to be kind of released back into the earth, allow that to happen. And we're going to just notice if this emotion had a shape, what would the shape be? If it had a color, what color is it? What kind of texture does it have? And does it have a temperature? Is it very cold? Is it warm or hot? And notice how much space it's taken up in the body. Does it feel very small and condensed, or is it really big, or is it like medium size? So now in front of you, I want you to imagine that there's a big bubble. And this bubble has its own grounding cord and it has its own universal cord. So it's resourced, it's stable, it's not going anywhere. And we're going to invite this emotion into the bubble. So to do that, I like to imagine that I breathe this emotion up into the throat, and then when I'm ready, I exhale it into the bubble. So just take your time to do that. We're going to ask our spirit guides and our inner wisdom to imagine now that we lift a veil off of our body and our aura. And as the veil is lifted, it starts to illuminate anything in our shadow that's attached to this emotion. That could be thoughts or beliefs, could be other emotions, there could be traits. We don't need to know exactly what they are. We're just going to allow our intention for all of these aspects in our shadow that are attached to this emotion. They get to flow into that bubble as well. And this bubble gets to grow and gets to expand and be as big as it needs to be to hold all of these energies so that these energies get to be as big as they actually are. You might notice that this bubble gets as big as a house. It might even get as big as a planet to just allow it to grow and be as big as it actually is. So as that bubble is there, we're going to just tend to our own aura, our own body. So we're going to begin to wash over our aura with the elements. So let's imagine we get some really beautiful earth energy pouring up from the earth and it gets to wash over our aura, washing through our energy centers, our body. And as the earth washes over us, it starts to heal any cords of enmeshment, any cords that are no longer healthy or needed, they get to receive healing. We're going to wash over our aura with the element of water, and it can be any body of water that would feel really, really good. We're going to wash over our aura with the element of fire and imagine that that fire gets to wash over our aura and transmute any cords of enmeshment, karmic energies that are ready to be completed, contracts, vows, and agreements that are ready to be completed on a soul level. We're going to wash over our aura with the element of wind. We're going to recall our authentic energies again, using that symbol. Imagine the fragments of your soul, your identity, your authentic energies get to come home back to that symbol where your guides are going to bless, heal, and update your energies to who you are now, empowering them and then beaming them in from the bottom of your feet all the way up to the top of your head. So we're just bringing our awareness back to the bubble in front of us. This bubble is holding that main emotion as well as all these other energies that have been unveiled from the shadow. We're going to set the intention that any lessons here get to be uploaded into our Akashic records. And whatever is supportive for our conscious mind, imagine that gets to be downloaded into our conscious mind. We get to see patterns, we have these aha moments, epiphanies, whatever's going to support us in becoming that loving awareness, becoming more whole. So bringing our awareness now back to the bubble. And we're just going to get curious as to how much of the energies in the bubble are our authentic energies? How much of them are authentic and how much belong to others? So let's just use our curiosity and our intuition, and we're going to ask the bubble, how much of the energy in this bubble is my authentic energy? And just wait for a percentage to show up. And if it feels very high or it doesn't seem quite right, you can always ask, is that accurate? And see if it changes a little bit. So we're going to also notice or ask how much of the energies in the bubble are ancestral. And just notice what percentage comes up for you. How much of the energies in the bubble are familial? How much of it is societal? So we're going to set the intention that in the bubble, anything that's inauthentic to you gets to be released back into the earth to be redistributed or composted. So beginning with those societal energies, they get to release back into the grounding cord. From the bubble, familial energies get to be released back into the earth. We're going to release ancestral energies now. And anything that we thought was our authentic energy, but actually isn't, we're going to give our guides permission to release those energies as well. So that in the bubble, we're left with only our authentic energies. These are the energies that we get to heal and transform. So the energies that are there, we're just going to start to kind of notice if there's any pictures that come up, any moments in time, any memories that are kind of popping into your mind's eye. Allow those memories, those those moments in time or pictures to flow into that bubble as well. You can even see them lining up. We're going to ask this emotion, and whatever's left in the bubble, we're going to ask it, what does it need from you? What does it need you to release? And we're going to say yes to healing and yes to growth. So we're going to offer a healing to these energies. So let's imagine we bring up earth energy again, and the earth's going to wash over this bubble, washing through anything that's dense, stuck, or blocked in the bubble, those emotions and energies that they get to receive this love and support from the earth. We're going to wash over with the element of water. Nourishing and soothing water gets to wash over these emotions, these energies. We're going to wash over with the element of fire. We're going to wash over with the element of wind. We're going to imagine that a whole rainbow of frequencies gets to pour into this bubble. And that each of these energies get to be fully loved, fully taken care of. They get to ask for whatever they want and whatever they need from the earth and from the universe. Imagine now that golden cosmic light starts to pour in and infuse this bubble. All of these emotions and energies get to be fully healed, fully completed, and we're going to watch as they burst into light. And just imagine that transformed light gets to be recycled by the earth or the universe. If there's any transformed light that wants to be reintegrated back into you, you can decide if that feels right. I'm just bringing your awareness back to wherever that emotion was originally in the body. So maybe if you felt it in your chest or your throat, your belly, just go there. Bring your awareness there. And see if you can use your curiosity and your intuition to notice or ask, what was the core need that was underneath that emotion? Maybe a need that was never met when you were younger. What was the need? And notice what that looked like when you were a young person, when you were a child, what that need looked like. What did it need? What did it look like to need safety, for example? What did it look like to need certainty, stability, love? And just hold that younger you in your mind's eye. And you're going to let them know who you are today. You're going to give this younger you a little tour of your life, showing them where you live now, what you do with your time. So maybe if you work, you can show them that you're able to pay your bills or that you're safe now. And just show them maybe if there's even one, two, or more people that you love in your life, people that love you back. You can even show them your relationship with the earth now, your relationship with your angelics, even with yourself now. And even show your younger self all the ways that you care for you, how you care for them today. And that could be looking after your mental health, it could be rest, it could be play, walks, drinking water, whatever it might be. Just show them all the ways that you look after you and younger you. And you're just going to let them know that this core need that maybe wasn't met at that age, that you can meet that need for them now. That if they need safety, that you've got them, that you're keeping them safe, and they only need you. If they need love, that you have so much love for them. And just let them know how proud you are and how hard you've worked to be able to be what they need. And you've actually done it. You are exactly who they need. And whatever that need was when you were a young child, imagine that this need now gets to evolve. What does that look like as an adult? So if the need was for safety, what does that look like for you now? If it was for love, what does that look like for you now as an adult? And give yourself permission to allow Mother Earth to meet this need fully now. Imagine all this beautiful energy from the earth, all this support, blessings, compassion just starts to pour up through your feet to wherever that place, that tender place in the body is. And imagine that Mother Earth gets to meet this need 100% now. And we're also going to imagine now that we start to give ourselves permission to increase our capacity to have self-compassion. So imagine now that you receive all this beautiful earth energy, permission from the earth to be human, fully human. All this permission gets to flow up through your grounding cord, into the feet, all the way up to the base of the spine. And just imagine this is the earth's permission for you to be fully human, to make mistakes, to regress and then move forward again, to feel like you're getting nowhere, but still be growing and still be completely lovable, to be 100% enough, completely lovable, completely safe and held by the earth because you're human. Imagine the earth is celebrating your humanness. Allow the earth to celebrate your imperfections and flaws, because the earth can see that as much as we may struggle and have challenges, that we are always striving to grow and to do better. And the earth can see our desire for that. So just allow as much unconditional love and support from the earth to just flow into the body wherever it's needed. Wherever those tender parts are, imagine that they get to receive all of this support, all of this energy, this unconditional love. Is there tender parts in the shadow that maybe we can't see in the body, around the body? Imagine that these little pockets, these tiny little voids, they get to be filled by the earth's unconditional love. We're also going to welcome in blessings from the cosmos, from our angelic team and our spirit team, our higher self. Imagine now that from the cosmos, beautiful golden light and lots of blessings. Maybe you see white light pouring in, and they get to illuminate and bless all of these tender parts in the body, in your aura. Bring in our conscious awareness to all aspects of who we are, welcoming parts of ourselves that were maybe abandoned or rejected. They get to come home now. And now imagine a whole rainbow of frequencies gets to pour into your aura, into the body. And this rainbow of energies gets to flow into wherever that core need was, wherever we release that emotion. Imagine that that rainbow of frequencies pours into that energy center, that part of the body. And this energy center gets to be loved completely and wholly. It gets to ask for whatever it needs and whatever it wants from the earth and from the universe. Full permission to be loved and cared for, and to heal and evolve. Just imagine now that your mind's eye, the lens in which you see yourself and you see your reality, your world, imagine that that gets to heal and evolve in alignment with this healing. So it matches the level, the increase of compassion that we've invited in, the level of permission to be authentic, to be human, to have choice, to make mistakes and still be lovable. How capable you are, how powerful you are, how valuable and important that you are, and how far you've come, how much you've grown. Just allow your mind's eye to update in accordance with this healing, this evolution. We're going to refresh our grounding cord. Let's bring up a brand new earth cord from Mother Earth to attach to the bottom of your feet, and allow this earth cord to be wide so it can be double in size. Again, any energies that are inauthentic to you get to flow like a waterfall back into the earth. You can even place a magnet in front of you and a magnet behind you to release energies. We're going to recall our authentic energies using that star or that symbol in front of your aura. And your guides are going to help you call home fragments of your soul, your identity. They're going to bless, heal, and update your energies to who you are now, empowering them and then beaming them in from the bottom of your feet all the way up the top of your head, just taking your time to fill in any spaces or gaps in your aura with your own authentic energy. We're going to allow all of this healing to heal and evolve our self-concept, identity, and even our belief system. We're going to set the intention that this healing gets to heal and evolve our relationships. So imagine you send out a spiritual text message to everyone you know and everyone you're yet to meet, letting them know that you've healed and you've evolved. We're going to even allow this healing to reset our boundaries where appropriate. Imagine that you get to send all this healing energy back in time to younger versions of yourself. So that younger versions of you get to be held and receive this support and healing. Imagine that we send all this beautiful healing energy back in time through our family and our ancestral lineage. And any of our ancestors that would love this support and healing, they get to put up their hand and we get to wash over them with this healing balm of energy. So now that we've evolved the past, we're going to allow that to heal and evolve our current reality and even send this energy forward in time so that you get to align with your most beautiful and aligned future timeline. So we're going to come back into our sacred container, the bubble that we created for this session. And we're going to offer gratitude, so thanking the earth, the universe, our guides, and our angelic team, thanking them, offering them blessings for this. And as we bless them, they're going to bless us right back. And before we step out of the container, just in your own mind, I welcome miracles. I welcome angelic assistance in helping me realize my heart's desires, releasing and healing my fears, and embracing with compassion and love and celebration being human. So now imagine that we step out of this bubble and out of this container, and as we do, we're going to allow this bubble to float away into the universe, and this is our offering to all beings that would love this support and this healing. So we're going to offer this out as a gift. And before we come back and open our eyes, we're just going to tend to our aura one more time. So let's refresh our grounding cord and bring up a brand new earth cord from the core of the earth. We're going to imagine we send back other people's energy from our aura back to them. So just with intention, you send back other people's energy. Recall your authentic energy back into that beautiful symbol. And your authentic energies are going to be blessed, healed, and updated, empowered by your guides, beamed in from the bottom of your feet all the way up to the top of your head. So whenever you're ready, you can take your time to open your eyes, come back to the space that you're in. Maybe look around the room, give yourself time to come back, ground yourself, and just look after yourself. You can return to this meditation anytime you need for a little bit of inner child healing, maybe tending to those really tender emotions that need some support. And if you would like additional support one-to-one, I do offer one-to-one energy healing sessions. So you can visit sacredjourneysireland.com to book yours. So thank you so much, and Slán.